Hey guys, what's up? Chris here again with another episode of TalkingFormers. So, on this episode, we're not really going to talk about a figure that's already out. We're going to go ahead and dive into the new 2020 Studio Series figures that have been revealed to us so far. Um, that being the new Bumblebee, the Soundwave, the RC 3 pack, the Hot Rod, Leader Shockwave, Voyager Megatron from '07, Leader Scavenger, I believe. If not, it might be Demolisher. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Voyager Mixmaster. Just gonna give you guys my thoughts on these figures, my highly anticipated figures from Deluxe, Leader, and the Voyagers, which are only two so far. Very limited information about these guys. I mean, pictures have been shown in hand, well, not in hand pictures, but pictures of them in packaging and the way that they're going to look in mass release. They look good from what I saw. Um, at least the figures that have been shown to be in package and everything, which I believe have only been the Shockwave and Scavenger. Really good looking figures. But we'll get to them when we talk about the leader class figures. So first I'm going to talk to you guys about the deluxe class figures, which are going to be the following characters. So starting off, probably my favorite because he's my favorite character. The 2020 Studio Series, I don't even know what number he's going to be, but Bumblebee, the 2007 Camaro version, which is the new stylized version of Bumblebee when, he went from that 74 Camaro to the new 2010 2006 concept Camaro that they used for the 2007 Transformers movie. He does have his battle mask on, and he does come with a plug-in gun, I believe, or like it pegs into the hand. Looks good. I'm liking the blacks and the silvers that they're using. They still have time to improve. I mean, the paint apps look quite well, especially because that version of Bumblebee didn't really have too many paint apps in the car version, just the stripes in the hood and in the rear end of the car. But it looks really good. I'm really happy to get a 2007 version, like refresh version of Bumblebee. It's going to be really cool to have that figure in my collection and in anybody's collection, honestly. And moving on from that figure, talking about the 2020 Soundwave from Dark of the Moon. I do have the original Soundwave from Dark of the Moon. It didn't even make it to the United States. It was part of that canceled wave that they were gonna release. I think it was wave 3 or 4, probably even farther down into the waves. If I'm wrong, go ahead and correct me down below. But it was Soundwave, Q, and Leadfoot that were canceled, and you had to order them through Japan or China, or pretty much import them into the States. So I have all three of those figures. It's nice to see that we're getting a mass release of the Dark of the Moon version of Soundwave. However, I don't really like the way that the chest kind of looks. The chest kind of looks like it's just the car piece. Maybe it's mistransformed because I feel like those two pieces that are on the side of the chest could push in a little bit more, and maybe that's going to make it look a little bit better. However, it does kind of seem like Hasbro missed the mark a little bit. Hopefully they have time to update it and really get us some more movie accurate chest piece for that figure. Overall, it looks like a really good figure, and I love the accessory of Laserbeak with that Soundwave. So moving on to the 3-pack, which is a really cool 3-pack, the RC triplets, or RC Chromia and Elita 1. I don't know why, but I've always referred to them as the RC triplets. They are okay in the sense that it is what it is. They're not big characters, and I like that they're keeping it in scale because they were fairly small Transformers. They look kind of movie accurate. I would have to rewatch Transformers Revenge of the Fallen to see how accurate they are to the CG renders. However, it is nice to get a 3-pack of those guys because the only way to get those guys was through the Human Alliance line, which They all came out sporadically. It was not all together. It was like 1 year, next year, and so on and so on. They were, I guess, in scale with deluxe class figures and later class figures, but but other than that, I don't know if they really were. I don't own those figures whatsoever. I missed out. Didn't really have the money for them when they came out. I've been looking on eBay to buy those little Human Alliance figures, but they're they're just ridiculously overpriced, like $60 or something for Chromia or whatever, which I'm not gonna pay that, especially when Studio Series isn't just gonna release a 3 pack, mass release worldwide. So I'm glad that we're getting those RC characters from Revenge of the Fallen to add to my collection and to be in scale with the deluxe class figures and later class figures. Um, and then the last one is going to be the World War II Hot Rod, which that's like the bottom of my list. The head sculpt does look better than what we got for the Last Night Hot Rod, but it's just a reused remold of the World War II Bumblebee with different accessories. I think it's different accessories. Correct me if I'm wrong down below, or just correct me in general. But um, it doesn't look too good to me. It's probably a figure that I'd probably wait to go on clearance before I even consider buying it. So moving on from deluxe class figures, we're going to talk about the Voyager class, which only two were really announced, which was Voyager Megatron from 2007 Transformers movie, and Mixmaster from Revenge of the Fallen. Out of these two guys, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Megatron first. Megatron he looks really nice in his jet mode, and I like the new head sculpt that they gave him for that 2007 version, but the chest is not unique to this figure. They just took the Revenge of the Fallen figure, retooled it, and slapped the 2007 version of Megatron to us, which I mind, but I don't mind because we're getting a new Megatron figure, a refresh of the 2007 version, but the chest is going to bother me because it's not movie accurate. Now, I hope that Hasbro fixes it because it's the same thing with the Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime, which I'm still waiting for. In the beginning, when they were revealing that they were going to make this figure, the chest piece was all red, and a lot of fans were kind of bugged by it. I was bugged by it, definitely, but they ended up fixing it for the mass release, repainting that midsection silver, and not having it red, which hats off to Hasbro for doing that. Now going back to Megatron, that's one of my only gripes about that figure, is that the chest piece is not movie accurate, and hopefully Hasbro fixes it. Now Mixmaster looks like a basic figure. Most of the Constructicons are. They don't really come with weapons or anything. My only hope for Mixmaster is that he has that barreled gun that I think it came out of his chest, or he like flipped over, and he shot at Jetfire before getting cut off, like cut in half. Other than that, he looks like a good figure. I wonder how he's going to transform into Devastator's head. Because it doesn't really look like they're probably hiding it very well too. Hats off to the Studio Series designers over there at Hasbro, because these figures are really, in my opinion, they're really good. I like the design. I like the details that are in there. I like the paint applications. Posability could be a little bit better. Out of the two Voyager class figures, the one that I'm most excited for, it's 50-50 because I want that Megatron. Because I missed out on Megatron from the 2007 version. And I also, it's 50-50 because I missed out on Mixmaster 2 when he first released. So I have to really see how they look in person, like not in pictures, and like the final design. If Hasbro does fix that Megatron chest, Megatron's probably going to be my priority for Voyager class figures. If not, then Mixmaster's probably going to be my definite. So with the Voyagers out of the way, let's go ahead and finish off the video with the leader class figures, which have the leader class Shockwave, which I've been waiting for since 2011, and I'm pretty sure everybody else has. This figure is just wow, and leader class Scavenger, or Demolisher, however you guys see it. I think they're the same CGI model, just slapped a different character name at the end of the movie, because Demolisher was super huge, Optimus Prime was like this, and he was like, you know what I mean. But Optimus Prime was smaller, he still ended up killing him in the beginning of Revenge of Fallen. And if Scavenger's the same CGI rendered vehicle and same CGI, I wonder if they're just going to upscale that figure for Mixmaster. I mean, Demolisher, my bad. Now, Scavenger does look really cool. It looks very well detailed. I'm loving the how big it looks. Is it going to be like the biggest Transformer overall? I don't think so. But I'm curious in the way that he's going to transform into that Devastator piece. Now, I have Leadfoot, Long Haul, Scrap Metal, Rampage. I'm missing the other yellow one. I don't remember his name. Picture right now. Anyway, I have those guys. I have not transformed them into their Devastator counterpart because I'm waiting for all the figures to release, so that way I can transform them all into Devastator when it finally releases. I do want to see those characters, the Mixmaster and Scavenger, in the Devastator pieces, and I want to see how they look, because I want a big Devastator too. I missed out on Devastator as well. So Scavenger, he looks pretty good. Probably gonna hold off on him. I hold off on a lot of leader class figures. I do have the Dark Moon Megatron, and I have the Dark Moon Optimus Prime still waiting for him in the mail. But those two figures I had to buy. Of course, Optimus Prime from Dark of the Moon, probably like one of my favorite versions of Optimus Prime. In that same movie, we're getting the Dark of the Moon Leader Class Shockwave, which I'm gonna go ahead and say this was like my favorite one of the line so far. Just from pictures, I was fanboying out. Like, I was like, oh my god, yes. And I'm so happy the coloration looks good. If they keep that, and I hope they keep that. I hope it's not just a prototype, because Hasbro has the tendency to showing prototypes and then the final design is a way different paint scheme. But they did the same thing with Grimlock when they revealed him, and he had that same paint scheme. So I'm hoping that he's going to have that paint scheme, because the dark purples, the metallic purples, and just the metallic grays, the gunmetal grays that are in that figure alone make that figure really worthwhile. And I can't wait to get my hands on Shockwave. I actually have him on pre-order on Hasbro Pulse because I want that figure so bad. I like that he's coming with a little wheelie and brains. Unnecessary accessories, but it's really cool that we're getting little figures as well. And I also like that he's coming with a nest guy. Now, because of that makes me wonder some other things. If we are going to get like a smaller Squeaks, if we're going to get characters like Sabbath Wiki, and like kind of like a Human Alliance pack, I guess you could say, to go along with our Transformers. It's cool to have the humans around. It's not a necessity. It's cool to have, but I care more for the Transformers than the little humans. But it's cool to see that Shockwave is coming with those little accessories. Now, the weapon on Shockwave looks superb. It looks movie accurate. It looks 10 times better than the Dark of the Moon Voyager class figure. And I can't wait for this figure. My most anticipated figure for that wave would be Shockwave and Bumblebee. Alrighty guys, so that was it for this video. If you guys liked this video, I hope you guys consider subscribing, leave a like, comment, and I hope you guys have a great day. It means a lot to me that you guys watch my videos, and just I hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next video.